What's up, guys? This is Jude Snowboarder here from Facebook, Jude's Junk, Facebook comic book shop, and YouTube channel. Um, it is with July 18th, 2023. A lot of people come to me and ask about and bring up the term fair market value. That's way over fair market value, or that's way under fair market value. And I think even those of us in the comic book community have grown accustomed to assuming what fair market value means. So this is to explain what fair market value means. Some of us, when we say fair market value, we think of last sale. So in the last year, the last sale has been the cheapest, so that's fair market value. And that might be right. Other people might say a 90-day average is fair market value, or a 12-month average, or a 2023 average, or a 2022 average, all of which are found on GPA. Now, if you use Go Collect or Cover Price, they might have different definitions of what they look at. The problem with those sites is they don't take from as many sales points as GPA takes from 18. They take from like 4. And they're not as accurate in terms of repeating recent sales, like the last 2 days. I was with Go Collect for many months, and they were notorious for being 1 to 2 months behind, and I lost a bunch of money because the market started tanking a year ago or more, and I wasn't aware because I was using Go Collect. So the different websites that have a price for a 90-day average, they're not going to be the same, and they're not going to be necessarily accurate. Some of them aren't going to be accurate just because they don't pull the right data, or maybe they don't clean up a data. Maybe there's a fake sale online that's somehow spiked at 200 when it's a $60 book, and now it totally changes the averages, and people are seeing that on their little CLZ app because they're connected with Cover Price, and maybe Cover Price's data I already know is messed up. I can't use any of their values. So if you're relying on that stuff, I hate to tell you, it's not reliable. And I even spoke with the developers about many examples how they're not valid, but they're better than they were before. So there's that. They're not good for you to price and buy. If you go on that, you might get taken advantage of, or you might pay too much or sell too little. So fair market value, the dictionary term, a selling price for an item to which a buyer and seller can agree. That's it. How about a legal term? Fair market value is defined as the price at which the comic would change hands between a willing buyer and a willing seller, neither being under any compulsion to buy or to sell, and both having reasonable knowledge of relevant facts. So if I'm on eBay and I'm notorious for packing my comic books like crap, and I'm always wanting to be the low-cost seller, you take chances when you buy from low-cost sellers that pack it poorly. Maybe they don't have a reputation for disclosing cracks and stuff. So if you're just looking for lowest price, you might go for an unreputable buyer that doesn't necessarily pack well, but charges $25 for shipping. But that's going to come out in the eBay prices. eBay charges tax. So is that included in fair market value? The auction sites I go to don't charge tax, at least in my state. So I assume no tax would be a fair market value in my state. So if you start adding these things up to the price that you see on these price guides, like tax or shipping, do you add it in or not? Then the price is subjective, and it's hard to pin. What if you provide more value? What if you ship and pack rock solid? What if you provide financing? What if you sell things at a big discount for cash versus PayPal goods and services, or stuff like that? So there's a lot of different elements. So I would say there's no one standard fair market value price for any comic book. It's when a buyer and seller agree. So some people will say to me, that's above fair market value. Well, if someone just paid $1,000 for that book and you're telling me it's above fair market value, it is fair market value by definition. That's what they paid. And you may not be aware, or the person considering this or saying this may not be aware of the other value provided. There's a lot of different ways a comic book seller can differentiate themselves from other sellers so they don't have to be a low-cost provider. It's kind of business 101, but I know many in the comic book field may not be aware of all these variables. So anyways, hopefully this is helpful. Fair market value is just when a buyer and seller agree on a price. That's it, guys. Happy hunting.